Hi everybody, Mr. Jurasin here. I'm going to be going over the panel saw today with the help of Mr. Gary. So refer back to the plans that you received on my canvas tile. With the panel saw, we're only allowed to cut plywood. This is where we keep all of our sheet stock. In this case, we're going to be using 3/4 inch oak plywood. It has 5 plies to it. We have our 1/4 inch plywood here and our hardboard here. We're not allowed to cut lumber on it. Remember, when we're working with plywood, to square it, it goes edge end. We gotta rip it first with the grain, cross cut it second across the grain. This is our panel saw here. Panel saw is an XY machine. The way to remember X and Y, X is to the left, Y is to the sky. So we want to set this up in the X axis, and we also want it to set up to a rip. If we look here, we can see the word rip and an arrow pointing down, and it says rip here, and the arrow is pointing to the right. According to our plans, these arrows are supposed to be going in the same direction. So what we have to do is change the orientation. We take these 2 little red pins here, pull it, give it a turn, it'll lock in place, give it a wiggle, and then you turn that deflector down. We have our yellow tape here. Right here we have this little silver triangle. The flat edge we want to set up to 10 1/4 according to our plans. And then down here, we have this set screw. We lock that in place, now that machine is set. Normally we grab a full sheet, but for now, we're gonna take a little smaller piece. We always operate this machine right to left. We put this right here onto the wheels. And this machine's kind of unusual. We're gonna actually push our hands toward the blade. The reason for that, it's impossible to get your hand in that far, so it's safe. The other thing we want to remember, a sheet of plywood comes in 4-foot widths by 8-foot lengths. That's based on wood grain. Thickness is the height of the annual rings, width is measured across the grain, length is measured with the grain. So on a full sheet here, 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. When people make a mistake with a panel saw, we really don't want to cut at 6, 8, 12, 16, or 24. The reason for that, if I had a piece that was 4 feet wide and I wanted to cut 4 pieces at 1 foot, could I do it? No, I can't. I could make my first cut at 12, 12, 12, and I'd be left with 11 5/8 because we have to have the kerf of the saw blade. We'll go over that more in class. So now I'm ready to go. I'm going to turn the machine on, I'm going to slide it through, I'm going to grab it on both ends and pull it out the backside. I have to pull it through flat, I don't want to get a snipe. We rip the board at 10 1/4 according to our plans. The next step is we have to set our machine in our crosscut orientation. We release the set screw here, we pull it up, and now Mr. Gary, if we look here, we're going to see crosscut, arrow to the right, crosscut, arrow down. According to our plans, both arrows are facing down, so we have to change the orientation again. Now we have arrow down, deflector down, it's ready to cut. On our plans, we have to cut our sides at 23 1/4. It's marked on the machine right here. I slide my board in, I come up to the 23 1/4, I line this up here. I'm going to put my right hand here. I'm going to put my right hand on the handle, my left hand here. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to run it all the way through the board. I'm going to slide it out. I'm going to grab the cord, bring it up, and turn the machine off. You got to remember to grab this cord. If you don't, it can fall back there. This cord used to be 8 feet long. Not anymore. So now I have my one side. I set this up here. And then I'd make my next cross cut, and I would have my 2 sides and my bottom done. That's the basics of a panel saw. Real simple machine. Keys to remember: when you're using plywood, it's edge end. It's only 2 steps, unlike lumber. I hope everybody's safe and having an okay time. Bye.